The stadium erupted. Thousands of fans, waving Philippine flags, rose to their feet in unison. The roar was deafening. And in the center of it all, a 21-year-old from Quezon City dropped to her knees, overwhelmed by what she had just accomplished. Alex Eala had done it again. She had taken on a giant slayer, a woman who had just defeated the reigning Wimbledon champion, and she had emerged victorious. But this wasn't just any victory. This was a statement, a declaration that the Eala effect was not just a moment, it was a movement. And the Philippines erupted in celebration. Welcome back. If you've been following the WTA Tour this season, you know that Alex Eala has been on an unprecedented run. Fresh off her historic WTA 500 title at the Mubadala DC Open, the Filipina sensation carried her momentum to Toronto for the National Bank Open, one of the most prestigious WTA 1000 events on the calendar. Her journey to the third round was already impressive, avenging her Australian Open loss to Alicia Parks with a gritty 6-1 for 6-2 victory. But the real challenge lay ahead. Standing in her way was Caty McNally, the unseeded American who had just pulled off the biggest upset of the tournament by stunning reigning Wimbledon champion and world number 7 Linda Noskova 7-6, 5-6-1. McNally had denied fans a blockbuster rematch between Eala and Noskova, and she was hungry for another upset. The stage was set for a clash that would test Eala's resilience, her composure, and her growing status as a global tennis phenomenon. For Alex Eala, this match was about more than just advancing to the round of 16. It was about proving that her DC Open triumph was not a fluke. It was about demonstrating that she could handle the pressure of being the hunted rather than the hunter. And it was about cementing her place as a legitimate contender on the WTA Tour. For the Philippines, the stakes were equally high. Eala's matches had become national events. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. had personally congratulated her after her first win in Toronto. The Filipino community in Toronto had turned Sobeys Stadium into a sea of red, white, and blue, creating an atmosphere that tournament director Carl Hale called unprecedented. For McNally, the match was an opportunity to prove that her victory over Noskova was no accident. The 24-year-old American had been on a roll, compiling a 14-8 win-loss record for the season. She had already embraced the challenge of playing in front of a pro-Eala crowd, telling the media, "It's going to be crazy." And she was determined to make it 2 upsets in a row. The match, scheduled for Saturday morning at Sobeys Stadium, was a battle of contrasting styles. Eala, the left-handed baseliner with a growing reputation for tactical intelligence, relied on her consistent ground strokes, her ability to redirect the ball, and her composure under pressure. McNally, a right-hander with a powerful serve and aggressive baseline game, had the weapons to cause problems if she found her rhythm. Eala was seeking her 7th consecutive victory after her Washington triumph. She had compiled a remarkable 35-18 season record, while McNally entered the match with a 14-8 mark. On paper, Eala was the favorite, but McNally had already proven that rankings meant little in Toronto. The match began with both players feeling each other out. Eala's consistency forced McNally into errors early on, and the Filipina secured an early break to take control of the first set. The crowd, overwhelmingly supportive of Eala, erupted with every point she won. McNally, however, refused to fade. She found her range and began to dictate play, forcing Eala to defend. But Eala had an answer for everything. She mixed up her pace, used her left-handed angles to pull McNally out of position, and showed the mental toughness that had become her trademark. The match was a testament to her growth as a player who no longer just relied on her talent, but on her ability to adapt and overcome. Midway through the match, the momentum shifted. McNally, who had been playing aggressively, began to make unforced errors. Eala, sensing her opportunity, raised her level. She started moving McNally from side to side, forcing her to hit on the run. The American's frustration grew, and Eala capitalized. The turning point came when Eala secured a crucial break in the second set. The crowd, which had been on edge, erupted. The Philippine flags waved furiously. The chants of "Let's go, Alex," echoed through Sobeys Stadium. McNally, who had previously embraced the challenge of a hostile crowd, looked visibly rattled. Eala, as she had done so many times before, remained composed. She focused on the point at hand, refusing to get ahead of herself. When she closed out the match, the final scoreline reflected her dominance and her ability to handle the pressure of the biggest stage. The moment the final point landed, the celebration began. Thousands of Filipino fans, who had traveled from across Canada and the United States, waved their flags and chanted Eala's name. The victory sent shockwaves through the tennis world, not just because of the result, but because of the way Eala had won. The Eala effect was on full display. Tickets for the session had sold out in record time. The demand was so overwhelming that organizers had moved the match to center court to accommodate the massive crowd. And the Filipino community delivered, turning Sobeys Stadium into a home away from home. This victory was more than just a win over Caty McNally. It was a statement. It was proof that Eala could handle the pressure of being the favorite. It was proof that her historic DC Open title was just the beginning. And it was proof that the Eala effect had become a global phenomenon. Eala's victory over McNally marked another milestone in her meteoric rise. It was her 7th consecutive win, extending a streak that had begun in Washington. It advanced her to the round of 16 of a WTA 1000 event, a testament to her growing consistency and her ability to compete with the best players in the world. But perhaps more importantly, it reaffirmed her status as a trailblazer for Philippine sports. No Filipino player, male or female, had ever achieved what Eala had achieved in such a short period of time. She had become a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of perseverance, and a source of national pride. The victory also set up a potential showdown with some of the biggest names in women's tennis. With each win, Eala was proving that she belonged in the conversation with the sports elite. The draw had opened up, and the path to the later rounds was becoming clearer. The tennis world was taking notice, and so were the sponsors. Alex Eala's historic victory over Caty McNally was more than just a tennis match. It was a celebration of Filipino pride, a testament to the power of belief, and a reminder that the Eala effect is here to stay. From the sold-out stadiums to the passionate crowds, Eala has become a global phenomenon, and she's only getting started. As she advances to the round of 16 in Toronto, the world is watching. The Philippines is watching. And Alex Eala is showing no signs of slowing down. This is her moment. And it's just the beginning. What do you think about Alex Eala's incredible run at the Canadian Open? Do you believe she can go all the way? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update on the biggest stories in tennis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.